Welcome back to part 4 of this SCP guide. If you've been following along, we're gonna complete our story for the final bit, which is complete the Chaos Trials once each and get the 2000 Symbiosis, which we should have already. We just need to switch out a Deviant to get it. Okay, so in our previous part, we already created our guns and all our armor and everything, so we don't really have to do any changes. But for this, we do want to kind of remember with our combo, if we ever do get close range and the Chaos Deviant is near our Bowl's AoE, we should really be trying to use our shotgun because it actually does more damage than the LMG. It's just this will always work. Either way, it'll be fine. I used to use 2 LMGs instead, but then you can even use 2 shotguns if you're really confident you'll be able to get close. So let's just go through the Chaos Cat and see how long that takes. Now, once we've completed the Chaos Cat, you'll actually see that we now have Verdant Chaos Badges. So, if we actually collect 300 of them by defeating the Chaos Cat many times, we can actually buy a Chaos Cat to have. So that's how you collect your Chaos Deviants. And we're going to move on to our next one, which will be Chaosaurus. Alright, next on our list will be the Chaosaurus. So we'll be fighting them the exact same way. There'll be nothing different about it. Now that we've completed the Chaosaurus, we'll move on to the Snow Sprite. The Snow Sprite and the Mr. Wish are actually going to be a bit harder because they just do a lot more damage, especially the Snow Sprite in particular. So what I would recommend is to replace the snail with a rabbit. So let's do that. And then level the rabbit up as high as you can. 50 is always good. We really want to have everything 50 at this point. Okay, now we're going to have all their PSI moves off because we're still going to time them. Because it's going to be a bit different this time. So what we're going to do is, when we enter, we are going to use our PSI grenade. But then, we have to target with our middle mouse button, or your scroll button, it might be for you, at the Snow Sprite. This will make the lethal rabbit use its ultimate on it once we turn on the ultimate and trigger it. So that's the one big difference, is we're not getting any fast recharge of our ultimates anymore for the Bowl and Cat. We're going to focus on doing even more damage, because what we're going to do is we're going to pop the Bowl, we're going to pop the Cat as well, and then instantly we're going to send the rabbit to do its ultimate, which should give it a boost in damage. So let's go check that out now. I'm not going to fast forward this one just because we're doing a different. So grenade, target the Snow Sprite, use the ultimates, and start shooting. So we kind of got unlucky. It didn't come to us, so we're not going to be able to use our shotgun. That's okay. We're just going to reload and wait for our next ultimate. As you can see, I've actually got some life grenades as well this time, in case this ultimate here is about to one-hit something. As you can see, it almost one-hit the lethal rabbit just in one go. So And it's dead. So we're not going to have our lethal rabbit. Hopefully it did do enough damage to make the difference, though. That's the main thing. Okay, this is really bad that the cat is all the way over here. So we really want to finish it with this next ultimate, or we're probably going to lose. It really is kind of like a timed thing when it comes to the Snow Sprite, just because that ultimate is so strong from the Snow Sprite that if you take too long, there's no chance you will. Normally this would be over, but thankfully the cat is surviving. So we're just going to shoot it normally, because we still do damage, we just don't do a crazy amount. So we've completed it, and the Snow Sprite's done. Now we have our final one, which is Chaos Mr. Wish. So we'll just go right into that. It's going to be the same strategy as last time. Now that we've defeated Mr. Wish, we've completed all the Chaos Trials, and all we need to do now is to reach 2000 Symbiosis. So if you've been following along, you might have your own wish box to replace it, one of your team with, and you should hit 2000. Just double check. Oh wait, that wasn't the one I was supposed to replace, I believe. There we go. Yeah. So now that we have 2000, we've finished the main story. There is a few extra things that we can go into now that we finished the main story. We're going to be getting into fusion now and some side quests and things like that. So now that we've finished the main story and reached Symbiosis level 10, we actually unlock here in the menu Peak Duels. So you can see here that there's rewards for each rank. The top 300 actually get rewards. The top 300 get one of each deviant, which is really nice. 1 to 300, 100 to 300. 9 to 100 get 2 mini wonders, and then the rest of the chaos mutagens. And then each other higher rank will also receive a avatar that they can use. There's also the rank guessing. So if you go in here, you can see that there's a betting shop. When you bet on people that are winning in the leaderboard, usually there'll be people here that you can see, and you can start betting on them. This is the beginning of a month, so there's just no one here yet. And then if you go into the betting shop, you can spend these betting coins on even more mutagens and another avatar. So from there, those are the rewards that you can get that way. You can also get 5 mutagens per week by participating in 5 matches for Peak Duels. This will also give you a rank, and you'll see that your rank will go up here once you've started participating in duels. So now that we've covered some of the Peak Duels and all that we've unlocked in that section, we're going to go into the side quest for Xeno. There's a side quest that we could have started early on. I don't really see a reason to until you're going to fuse anyway, which is he'll have us go and fight gyms. It'll eventually end with him giving us a deviant that has Psychic Kid on it. It usually has another trait, but having Psychic Kid is a great trait to work with. Now, another part that we'll want to be working on is getting clean deviants. There is a few different ways you could fuse with mutagens that you get that have no skills on them, or you could fish. So if you actually look through some of these deviants that I'm showing up now, you can see that this eel, when you go into the survive and capture preserve section, you can see it only has its ultimate. There's nothing else there. And it also has no traits and all the other things that would make it have nothing, right? But then when you go to something like this, which is a grumpy bulb that was grown from onions, it has the move PSI bullet, which means it's not clean. So you won't be getting a bonus to your fusion if you use something like this in the middle. However, you will get a bonus if you use an eel. So the best thing to do is actually to go fishing and use mince bait, which you can purchase here uh, at this shop. They sell mince bait for 50 EL each, and it's right here. If you look on the map, kind of right of Hot Springs and a bit down, this is where I would fish. There's also another good area, which is over here, where you could fish. You can see that someone in my hive is already there, and they probably fish around here, which you can get eels at the bottom here, and I believe if you go up here, you can get jellies. But you can also, if you wanted to get jellyfish from fishing, you could go further up to a snowy area, which usually would give you jellyfish. It's just much worse. They only have about a 10% chance of being caught compared to most of the fish you will catch here will be eels. Now that we've finished the Chaos Trials as well, there's another thing that you might want to go into. If you plan to farm them just like daily all the time, you may want to actually start working on a better team. So if you look at some of these different deviants that I have here, most of these are all complete, and they have like 3 skills, maybe level 3 skills in them as well. So for example, if I was to go fight the Snow Sprite now, I'd probably use a team that comprised of something like this, where you can see my bowl has Crystallis, Skyward Bound, and PSI Bullet, level 3, and then my cat actually has Rapid Charge, level 3, Charging Aura, level 3, and Kitty Punch. And then my rabbit has Savage Strike, level 3, Brink Strike, level 3, and Blink, level 1. Another thing you can do is that you can add in an SCP trait. So from farming previously, the wish boxes and stuff, you would have gotten maybe HP 3, elemental damage 3, so on and so forth. You can put these on a better deviant for them. For example, for a cat, you really want crit damage because the ultimate can crit. It's a physical hit. The 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 rabbit in general has high crit chance. After hitting a new target, all attacks will critically hit for the next 10 seconds. And then there's also other things you can do, which is for the cat, I've added some HP. I've added 4,000 extra HP. There's another thing called Knights of the Round Table. It actually reduces the damage deviants take from other deviants and anything. So, for example, a cat with this, which I've already tested, and a cat without it, if you shoot them with your gun, so let's say you're fighting another player in a PvP scenario, your cat that has Knights of the Round Table will actually take about 24 less damage per shot than the other cat. That might not be a lot when you're boosting to thousands of damage, but it's still something, you know, it makes them more tanky in general. Um, and then on the bow, we've added attack 3 to increase its attack so that we get more attack when we're shooting. So I would actually expect that even though this is the same team we used, it's just a new group of them with new skills and stuff, this would do much better than the previous team. There's also some other deviants that we really didn't go into just because I was trying to be very like clear and just one team go through everything in a way. But but there are a few such as the Upper World Spawn that have some really good moves. Upper World Spawn, the Pyro, For example, the Pyro's ultimate, you basically hold it like a grenade and start shooting. It's amazing, does a lot of damage. The upper world spawn reflects damage, so if you can time this well, it would be another one where you probably wouldn't have it on auto, and you would just wait for your enemy to use their ultimate, and then you would be turning this on. And then all the damage they take would, no, you take would be going back to them. And then you could also stack this with the cat's ultimate to increase the damage of to increase the damage of it. Then we also have a few others that are more just for boosting actually like damage and whatnot. For example, I have a Rebecca that has group physical enhancement, charging aura, elemental overload. So it's just increasing the damage of all of its allies, and then it's just a bit tanky. Um, then we have something like a jelly. These are really good for like open world encounters. So, for example, if I was to just go around in an open world, I'd probably have a team like this, and then maybe I might even have the pyro, just so that if anything big did come up, I'm just grabbing it, start shooting it like a grenade. You could also have maybe the voodoo instead. Uh, it has a good move that just curses all enemies and blocks healing. So if an enemy just heals a lot, it's not going to be healing anymore. There's a lot of different combos you can do. However, if you're just going for straight damage, it's probably going to be the bull, cat, and rabbit as one of the best combos, just because the rabbit on its own is very strong. The cat boosts it, and the bull also makes you do damage through your guns. And so to go into how to get level 3 skills, they are found on wild deviants that you capture with grenades. So that actually limits what you can get because a lot of deviants actually don't appear in the game. So if we go to filter, and let's just, for example, I know there's no cat in the environment. If you look around after clicking on a cat, you see none of them will appear. And then if we click on a door, it just teleports us to where the door is on the map so we can see where it is. So it really depends on the deviant. Another one is like Upper World Spawn you're not going to find. Yep, Mini Wonder as well. I didn't think so. A Hand you're not going to find. A Zapamander you're not going to find. So there's a few that are, even though they're on this list, you're not going to find a chef. You won't find them like just around the environment. So for example, let's say we wanted to make a good chef though. How are we going to get it level 3 skills? Well, the way to do that would be to first check which skills it can have and which skills you want. And then from there, we would actually find which deviants are on the map that have those skills potential to also. So right now I'm just putting up a document that you can see that has the name of deviants and the techniques that they can learn. So for example, you might find some overlap. Let's say you want something for a cat, and there's no cats. You can have a look on this list for a deviant that has that ability, and then go catch that until you get a level 3 version. I will also be placing this in the description below as a link, so if you'd like to look at the document in more detail. Now, another thing you might be wanting to do when you finish the campaign is to start hunting visional mutagens to create visional deviants. So you can find these in settlements. If I'm just going to one right now, that once we get up here, you can see there's a chest with this little thing above it. This is a visional chest. If we open it, most likely it has a mutagen inside. We'll just grab everything really quickly. And there was a Digby mutagen inside. So each settlement will usually have around 2 chests to collect, and then that's pretty much the fastest way to get them. Usually there is like a new event happening each visional season that will give you more stuff, but the chests are usually really good for just getting mutagens. As you can see, we've already gotten 2 mutagens, a Zapamander as well now, very quickly. That's one location done. We can just instantly go to another location that has the symbol and continue on from there. And that now completes our guide. Thank you for tuning in for all these parts if you have, and I hope you've enjoyed it and learned a few things. If you have any comments about maybe another guide to make or something once human related that you want to chat about, feel free to leave a comment and have a good one.